Our top story tonight, Glennville residents are demanding accountability after city officials were caught on camera discussing city business and making derogatory remarks following an April special called meeting. Tonight marked the first council meeting since that incident, and citizens used public comment to make their voices heard. WSAV's Isabella Baez has more.
The Bible tells us to everything there is a season, and I am strongly believing that the season for those who were involved in this situation is up.
During Tuesday night's public comment period, residents and faith leaders called for accountability following the April 28th special called meeting. Glennville Mayor Bernie Weaver, council members Marcus Nobles, Tammy Waters, and Greg Yanazek were caught on camera discussing city business and making derogatory remarks about a local businessman and a fellow council member, Cynthia Miller.
The two bears here.
No, he's not a terrorist. Do you think if we hit him with the holy water, he'd melt a little?
Tuesday night, multiple faith leaders said the incident has severely damaged public trust and called on those officials to resign.
We believe that the restoring of public trust requires meaningful accountability. Given the circumstances surrounding these events, it is difficult for us to see how confidence can be rebuilt while those involved hold on to their positions.
One resident who spoke during public comment offered a different view, calling the incident a human mistake and saying resignations are not warranted.
All of these people have worked to safeguard taxpayer dollars and keep the city safe and the employees of this city. I do not believe that anyone should be judged solely by their worst moment. We are all human, and sometimes we say things we wish we could take back.
As the meeting drew to a close, council members were given an opportunity to respond. Council member Cynthia Miller thanked residents for attending and sharing their thoughts, while the remaining council members declined to comment.
No comment.
Mrs. Waters?
I don't have anything to that.
Okay.
Several residents told WSAV they left the meeting frustrated, saying they hope to hear a public apology from those involved. As well as WSAV News 3 on your side.
New tonight, the city of Richmond Hill has rejected an appeal related to a proposed nickel refinery at the former Caesarstone site. The decision comes after a public hearing tonight when the city council considered whether to overrule the appeal. The appeal was filed by Caesarstone Technologies USA, which argued a nickel refinery should be considered a permitted manufacturing use under the 2013 planned unit development, but city staff told council the proposed metal refining operations, including nickel and cobalt processing, are not permitted under the current zoning structure.
We don't need chemicals in our rivers. We don't need chemicals by our schools and our air where the children are going to school. We don't need it, and nobody needs it in their community. So, it was a good win for us today in Richmond Hill.
No representatives for Westwind or Caesarstone appeared before council, and the appeal was presented without any official response from the company. Well, new details in a Chatham County child death case. Two parents accused in the fentanyl-related death of their infant appeared in court today for the first time since their arrest. That is, Heather Laborde and Paul Rapkin appeared in court this afternoon for a felony docket hearing tied to murder charges in connection with the death of their child. The pair is accused in the November 2025 death of their 9-month-old infant, whose passing, investigators say, was caused by the toxic effects of fentanyl and methamphetamine. Officials say the investigation is now in the hands of the Chatham County District Attorney's Office. Following up now, a protest has now been planned for Friday afternoon, exactly 1 week after a series of ICE operations in Bluffton detained more than a dozen people. The Low Country Immigration Coalition held a community meeting last night to answer questions and discuss what happened during Friday's operation. Video recorded by bystanders shows nearly 24 men being loaded into a detention van. Immigration attorney Amy Deverell says at least 2 people taken into custody were driving a vehicle registered to someone who had a detention warrant. Families say they have not heard from their loved ones since Friday and fear they may have been taken into custody as well.
People who were picked up on Friday were not criminals. There were no criminal warrants that were issued. These were all people who were picked up on administrative warrants. And many of them were just picked up because they were seen as collateral damage who were in the way of them searching for other people who had administrative warrants.
WSAV reached out to ICE for information about those detained and where they may have been taken, but has not received a response. That immigration rights protest is this Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Beaufort County Government Complex on Bluffton Parkway. A debate over the future of data centers drew a crowd to Statesboro City Hall today. After hearing from supporters and opponents, City Council moved forward with new rules designed to limit how and where those facilities could be built. WSAV's Evan Smoke with the story.
At a Statesboro City Council meeting Tuesday, the public was invited to share their thoughts once again on an ordinance that would establish barriers for any data center proposals. Several people showed up.
After much study and consideration into data centers and generative AI, I must object to the construction of these centers, no matter their size.
You're going to make an ordinance, and then you're going to ask all these people to supply tax money. Actually, you're not going to ask them, you're going to tell them that they're going to supply tax money to provide infrastructure for these facilities.
Despite questions and objections, the City Council approved the ordinance 3-1, meaning the city would allow data centers to be built, but with some restrictions. The restriction in the ordinance includes requirements for a sound study, a maximum size of 50 acres, and a requirement of any data center to use a closed-loop system. Any submission must also have a special use permit.
The special use permit is a mechanism that even if a property is zoned to allow a data center, there's still a number of steps that it has to go through, and it has to go before City Council for a public hearing like, a rezoning would itself.
Williams says this is a proactive and not a reactive measure.
We want to make sure that any regulations that we have can really protect us moving forward and ensure that when a developer does come knocking, because I'm sure they're somewhere, we're ready for it.
These restrictions only apply to proposals in the city limits. Bullitt County has placed a moratorium on data center proposals through the end of the year. Reporting in Statesboro, Evan Smoke, WSAV News 3, on your side.
The latest winner of the St. Jude Dream Home has been announced. The drawing happened tonight live on News 3 at 6. WSAV's Ben Singer talked with the winner shortly afterward and has this wrap-up from the home.
And this is always our favorite day of the St. Jude Dream Home campaign because we get to announce the big winner and change someone's life. This year, that someone was Nancy Woods of Beaufort, South Carolina. We got to make the call right here on what will be her brand new outdoor space and tell her that she was the grand prize winner. It is my pleasure to inform you that you have won the grand prize. You are the winner of the Dream Home.
I am so shocked and I am so happy. And this was such a wonderful thing and such a wonderful cause too, St. Jude's.
And Nancy is making plans to visit her new home in the coming days. Of course, we'll keep you up to date on that. In the meantime, we need to say thank you to everyone involved. Landmark 24 Homes and its army of trade partners have built this home at zero cost to St. Jude. It's a $575,000 grand prize. Tickets were $100. 8,100 tickets were sold. That means we raised collectively $810,000 for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. That money will ensure that no family ever receives a bill from St. Jude, not for treatment, travel, housing, or food. So even if you didn't win one of our prizes this year, we want to thank you so much for buying a ticket because you are helping St. Jude treat and defeat childhood cancer and other life-threatening diseases. If you would like to see a list of this year's winners, remember we had 4 bonus prizes in addition to the grand prize. You can go to our website right now, WSAV.com. And stay tuned, there will be a Dream Home next year right here in our area, and we're going to tell you all about it. In Savannah, Ben Singer, WSAV News 3, on your side.